What's good, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to the luckiest people who survived the Impossible Part 5. Now, if you want to watch the other parts on my channel, they'll be up here in these time cards. But before we get into it, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's just get straight into these videos, man. They're crazy, and I can't wait to see all the crazy things people survive in this video, man. Let's get into it.
There are some things that humans just weren't built to survive. I'm talking about totally hair-raising events like driving your car off a cliff, being swallowed by a whale, or falling into a deadly dam.
What even is that? What the fuck? I don't even know how this shit happens, but okay. What are y'all doing?
Anyone else's stomach's doing somersaults right now?
No, he's just stupid, bro.
Freak accidents happen all the time, yet there are some people among us who manage to beat the odds and live to tell the tale. So, without further ado, here are some of the luckiest people who survived the impossible.
Let's go, bro.
Margaret Guire.
Okay.
Margaret Guire.
I swear. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm pausing it. If there's another plane crash incident in this video, bro, it just instantly wins. Cause how you survive in a plane crash, bro? Okay.
British national from the city of Saskatoon in Saskatchewan, Canada. She was just 26 years old when she married Reverend Herbert Guire on the 15th of April, 1915. Less than a month later, the pair boarded the RMS Lusitania in New York, bound for Liverpool. But little did she know Margaret was about to star in one of the most bizarre survival stories of all time.
What happened?
On May 7th, just 6 days after leaving the port, the Grand Ocean liner was torpedoed by a German submarine while Margaret and Herbert.
Oh my god, bro. The Germans are just out doing. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. I can't say I'm on YouTube. But you know what I mean, bro. They were really just doing that back then. They were just doing this to innocent people, bro.
Dinner. Not long after the impact, the lights went out and mass panic set in as the boat began listing badly to starboard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like if there's a war going on like that in today's age, I wouldn't get on no damn boat, bruh. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. I wonder if there were important people on that boat and that's why they did it, you know? Like they didn't just do it to do it, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Helped her in along with 3 other women and a baby. But what Herbert didn't realize was that, as Margaret looked up, she thought the ship's smokestacks were going to fall on the lifeboat and quickly clambered back on deck.
What are you doing?
Meanwhile, Herbert hopped into another boat and began to row away. But when the deck Margaret was standing on slipped beneath the water, she desperately tried to swim away from the quickly
sinking what are we doing, bro?
Ship. Unfortunately, she didn't make it very far until she was sucked into a violent whirlpool and down into the funnel of one of the smokestacks along with 2 other men. This should have
well, the smokestack got you at the end, I guess. At the end of the day, it got you.
Spelled the end.
It didn't kill you, though, obviously.
Lady Luck had other ideas. By some miracle, an explosion in the boiler room directly below the smokestack blew Margaret right out of the funnel and back to the surface. Margaret was rescued by a nearby...
What the fuck are you talking about? It blew her up. It wouldn't blow her up, but it pushed her?
Lifeboat and quickly spotted her husband, who was sobbing over her loss on another boat nearby.
Oh my god!
At first, he didn't even recognize Margaret because she was so covered in soot. When the pair were reunited at last, Margaret composed herself and said, "Never mind, we've lost those awful wedding presents." She must have been some woman to still have a sense of humor after being fired out of a sinking ship. All aboard the RMS Be Amazed. This is one ship that will never sink, bro, because it's powered by quality.
But the other people just perished, I guess, bro. That is insane, bro.
If you want to become a full-time passenger, just...
look, man, I don't care.
Beck Weathers. Climbing Mount Everest is a notoriously tricky feat.
Bro.
Thousands of successful mountaineers have reached its towering peak of 29,029 feet. But more than 300 others have lost their lives while trying. Even when using bottled oxygen, mountaineers can experience fatigue, nausea.
How many people die climbing Mount Everest a year? How many? Because it said only 300 people have died. It must be like at least one person a year. It might be more, but at least one, bro. Because how many people climb it a year to the top? Not a lot, bro. Probably.
Vomiting and other problems like hypothermia and frostbite during the climb. Back in 1996, 49-year-old Beck Weathers, a pathologist from Texas armed with all the confidence of a midlife crisis, decided he would take on the challenge. On May 10th, he and his team were due to summit the mountain when Weathers started losing his vision at around 28,000 feet. You see, he had
God.
undergone a corneal operation not long before attempting the climb, and the high altitude...
Hey, buddy, how about you get surgery and you wait, like, at least a fucking year till you try to do this shit, bro? How about you just wait? What the fuck are we doing?
Him
It's like he wants to die.
The guide decided to continue the group's ascent, promising to come back for Weathers on the way down. Although passing climbers offered to help him back, Weathers refused and decided to wait. Did I mention that this area is grimly known as the Death Zone? Because it's littered with the frozen, mummified bodies of other failed climbers? After some time, the wind picked up and a dangerous blizzard rolled in, dropping the temperatures to an unfathomable 90 degrees below zero. Weathers then decided to begin the climb back alone, but got bogged down in the storm. By the time help arrived, it was too late. He was deranged with hypothermia and lack of oxygen, and his right arm was frozen solid. At this point, the guide made the difficult decision to leave Weathers behind. The next day, doctors came to examine him. They chipped ice from his face and broke the news that he was just another casualty of the infamous Death Zone.
Damn.
But in a Hollywood-style twist, he later awoke from his coma. Finding himself covered in snow, he stood up and walked back in the direction of camp. When he arrived, it's safe to assume the other climbers probably mistook him for one of the White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I saw that, I would have thought he was like a fucking demon or something. I would have like fucking tried to fight him or something, bro. I'm not even fucking lying, bro. If I saw that shit, I would be ready, bro. You have weapons up there? I'm using them. I'm being dead ass.
And taken to Kathmandu, where he lost his right arm from the elbow down, as well as his nose. Despite his ordeal, Weathers recovered fully and went on to become a motivational speaker. Hopefully, he also went on to take on a far less deadly hobby than mountain climbing, like cross-stitch or something.
Yeah, bro, well, he probably couldn't climb again after all this shit, so, you know.
Joe Simpson. This tale of two British climbers sounds like the stuff of folklore, so it's no surprise it was turned into a best-selling book, a documentary, and a UK theater show titled Touching the Void. In spring 1985, 25-year-old Joe Simpson and 21-year-old Simon Yates became the first people to scale the west face of the Sula Grande mountain in the Peruvian Andes, which is almost 21,000 feet high, FYI. But what should have been a moment of total celebration quickly turned to one of terror, and very nearly tragedy. While the pair were making their descent, Simpson plunged down an ice cliff, breaking his right leg. As night fell and with a storm rapidly closing in, the two men were forced to continue in the dark with no way of communicating and almost 150 feet of rope separating them. While battling blizzards, avalanches, and frostbite, Yates chose to try and lower Simpson down the mountain by rope 300 agonizing feet at a time. He had already lowered him some 3,000 feet over an icy precipice when the snow seat he was using for leverage started to collapse. Suddenly, Yates was faced with an impossible decision. He couldn't see or hear Simpson, but he knew they were both as good as dead if he continued to hold on. So Yates took a knife and cut the rope, sending his climbing companion plunging to an early grave.
Oh my God.
So he thought. You see, Simpson had already fallen 100 feet into a cavern of snow and ice below. He was sure he was done for, but he somehow managed to muster the strength to crawl an immense journey of 6 miles to make his way back to base camp. 3 days later, Simpson arrived just in time to be...
I'm not gonna lie, this is crazier than the last one, bro. Like, I get it, that guy practically froze to death and died. Well, you know what? No, I'm sorry. He literally died. Tell me how the dude from the last the last clip died. He didn't even explain. Like, how did he wake up a few hours or days after? I don't know, bro. But the fact that he lived through all that, though, is, like, impressive, bro. Because all that other guy did was just lay there and somehow woke up. This guy just fought like hell to find people, which is crazy.
Even more remarkably, Simpson showed no bitterness towards Yates, and has even said in the years since that he is sure he would have made the same decision if the roles were reversed. What a class act. I mean, wouldn't we all? Just a fact of the matter. I think there's only a few people I wouldn't do that to. That's like my family. But like besides that, everyone else I would do it to, bro. Dollar question is, would you cut the rope to save yourself if it meant sacrificing a friend? Let me know how you think you deal with such a
I'm sorry, bro. Cause like I don't want to die, bro, and one of us has to go, and I'm in control. Guess what I'm doing? I'm sorry, and I'm in control of that position, and like either you're gonna die or both of us. What do you think I'm gonna do? You make the same call, bro, and I hope you would.
Comments below. I'm genuinely curious.
In that
Where were we?
situation.
Angela Hernandez. This story sounds like one of those nightmares you have when your body jolts you awake with full-fledged terror and you can't ever go back to sleep. It all started on July 6, 2018, when Angela Hernandez was driving her white 2011 Jeep through the Big Sur area on her way to Southern California. Suddenly, Hernandez spotted a small animal in the road ahead and swerved to miss it. But this act of compassion...
You swerved to miss it, bro. It was a small animal. Bro, I'm sorry. And I know this is like 101 here. If y'all see an animal, I don't care if it's a cat, a dog, I don't give a fuck, a squirrel, I don't care what it is. If you see it run out in front of you on the road, you just gotta hit it, bro. Especially in this situation. How the road was, and it kind of looked like it was tight like that, bro. You just gotta hit it. I'm sorry. You just gotta fucking hit the thing, okay? If the road is wide and you know you can kind of go swerve maybe around it, do it. But like, it just depends, bro.
Cost her big time. Hernandez's car veered off the edge of a cliff, plummeting 200 feet below to where the ocean meets a rocky beach that is completely isolated.
Did she dodge all the
road
rocks?
above.
So that's kind of
When
insane.
Angela next opened her eyes, she was still inside her car and she could feel water rising over her knees. Although every bone in her body hurt, she was able to remove her seatbelt and use a multi-tool she kept by her seat to smash the driver's side window.
Gosh,
then
bro.
she jumped into the water and swam until
she was
reached the
in
shore,
the water.
where she
Okay.
blacked out again. When she next woke up,
Wow.
it was still daylight. As she surveyed her surroundings, Hernandez saw nothing but rocks, the ocean, the sheer cliff above her, and her car, now half washed up on the shore and the roof ripped off. She had no shoes, and her jeans were ripped to shreds. As her grim reality became apparent, Hernandez scoured the shore, sunburned, dehydrated, and screaming for help, but no one on the road could hear her. Up above, the authorities were searching for Hernandez, who had been reported missing while traveling from Oregon to California. But it would be 7 whole days until her ordeal was over. During that
What
time,
the
Hernandez
fuck?
used a hose from her car to catch water dripping from moss on rocks. But when Chad and Chelsea Moore spotted
smart.
a discarded car bumper and followed the trail of debris to find the rest of the wrecked vehicle,
God
they knew something
damn,
was
look
up.
at that shit.
When the couple walked up the beach, they found Hernandez hidden in the rocks and called for help.
Yo, shout out, I'm from Oregon, bro. Shout out to you. You flexing the fucking Oregon license plate is crazy after what you went through, bro. But hey, alright.
Oh, she suffered a brain hemorrhage, 4 fractured ribs, and a fractured collarbone, a collapsed lung, and ruptured blood vessels in both eyes, among other injuries. But above all else, she was grateful to be a lucky survivor.
Wow, yeah, that's
Jenna
crazy.
Geese.
Geese?
Freak accidents aren't the only things humans are able to overcome with remarkable luck. Just ask Jenna Geese. When she was 15 years
I'm
old,
sorry,
Geese
bro.
was
That
attending
might be top worst last name of all time. Your last name is Geese. All right, dude.
Sunday mass at her local church in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, when a bat started flying around inside.
Oh!
After an usher
there's a
stunned it
biter?
by hitting it with a prayer book, Jenna, being an animal lover, picked it up by its wings and carried it outside. And that's when it sank its fangs into her left finger.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I get you're an animal lover and all that, bro. And like, bats, first off, bats are scary. Because especially if they bite you, they can fuck you up because you don't know what they're carrying, right? So, and in this situation, at least be safe and smart about it. Get like a bucket, put something over the bucket, or just carry it, not with your hands, bro. All right.
You might be thinking, people have survived bites from far more fearsome creatures. But this wasn't just any old bat. It was a rabid bat. For those who don't know, rabies is a nasty viral disease carried by certain animals which can kill a human by compromising the brain's ability to regulate breathing, salivation, and heartbeat.
Ew, I don't want to see that fucking shit.
Disease is virtually 100% fatal. Thankfully, there is a vaccine which can be administered to stimulate antibodies to the virus. The vaccine eliminates the chances of getting the disease if it is given in advance, or more commonly, within a few days after the initial exposure. There was only one small problem. Geese didn't get the vaccine. The bite was so quick and small that she thought she had only been scratched. Plus, her fellow churchgoers told her only healthy bats could fly, meaning she
Yeah, when was this? When When did this happen? Like, back in the fucking Stone Age, bitch? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, honest. Like, if today, bro, if I got even scratched by a bat, bro, I would go to the doctor almost immediately. On fucking God, bro. Are you fucking stupid, bro? This must be, like, back in the old times, bro. They probably just told you to fucking puff on a cigarette and you'd be all good, bro. Literally.
But 3 weeks later, Jenna noticed that her finger felt a bit numb and tingly. Within a couple of days, she felt tired and nauseous. 24 hours later, she was seeing double and was taken to the hospital, where she arrived semi-delirious and vomiting. Her parents were told she had hours to live. After all, no one had ever survived rabies without a vaccine before. Left with no other choice, Dr. Rodney Willoughby came up with a totally impromptu treatment. He put Geese into an induced coma to give her immune system time to build up antibodies against the virus. A week later, she was slowly brought out of the coma and remained in the hospital for a further 11 weeks, during which time she took 17 pills a day to help her recovery.
God
Full
damn!
rehabilitation took months to a year, but doctors have since described Geese's survival as historic. In the years since, Geese has been outspoken about her battle and hopes the doctors can refine the experimental treatment to ensure that other victims are given the same chances of
I was
survival.
gonna say, was she just actually lucky, or like what they did actually helped? I don't know. I think it honestly was probably just luck, I guess. Because I think there has been cases of people surviving rabies, which is obviously very fucking rare.
Moral of the story, don't go scooping up bats, kids, especially if they've just been smacked by a prayer book.
For real, bro.
A whale of a time.
But also, why are you smacking a... Oh my God. Like, imagine smacking a bat with a prayer book. Like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? Okay.
A whale of a time.
It just seems wrong to do that.
On
you
Monday,
know?
the 2nd of November, 2020, friends Liz Cottrell
this
and
is the
Julie
fucking
McSorley
whale, bro.
were kayaking at California's Avia Beach when the unthinkable happened. The pair had been watching whales feed on silverfish from a distance of about 9 meters when a large pool of fish emerged around them. McSorley then spotted a large, dark shape coming up from beneath, but it was too late to react before this happened.
Oh my God.
Did anyone else just gasp out
Yo,
loud?
that might be the scariest thing of all time. Though granted, they can't eat you because their throats are like tiny as fuck. You know what I mean? But like, this is still fucking horrifying, bro. And well, it probably spit them out, okay? But this is still crazy.
It's like watching a real-life Moby Dick, except this time, thankfully, there's far less tragedy involved. It may look like Liz Cottrell and Julie McSorley were swallowed by this huge humpback whale, but both women actually escaped totally unharmed.
Yeah.
As the whale burst out of the water, it lifted the pair and their kayak
bro,
up into
I
the
couldn't
air
imagine
before
that.
dumping them back down. It's incredible that a nearby kayaker was able to record the entire thing on camera.
That's
But what's
crazy.
even more amazing is that McSorley also happened to be filming at the time and caught it from her own perspective.
Oh! Have some perspective! Yo, that might be the craziest video of all time.
She sounds awfully calm for someone who was almost swallowed by a
I'm
whale.
gonna be honest, I don't even think she maybe even knew what happened. Or she was just too stunned to even fucking react properly, bro.
Thankfully, most
be
whales,
honest.
with the exception of the sperm whale, have throats that are too small to swallow a large mammal the size of a human.
Yeah.
And there's no records of such a thing ever happening. Assuming you were swallowed in one piece, the whale wouldn't be able to tear you to pieces because whales don't have teeth, so to speak. Instead, they have baleen plates, which are covered with hair that is able to filter krill from the thousands of liters of water these huge creatures swallow in one gulp. The biggest danger would either arise from being squashed by the whale's sheer weight or being dragged down too fast enough to a depth where your lungs experience a thoracic squeeze and collapse completely. Thankfully, these ladies only lost their car keys and not their lives. I hope they called a cab home because I'd be in no rush to get on another boat. Lisa Mondi. Ever
That
get
is
that
so insane, but that's insane.
easy feeling while swimming in the ocean like you're mere feet away from
That's
a great
why another
white at
ocean
any
one.
time?
Wow, see, this is why I don't fuck with the ocean though, bro. First off, I can't swim, and fuck the ocean because it's scary. That's
Thankfully, those fears are usually just thanks to your brain playing tricks on you. In fact, according to the International Wildlife Museum, the odds of being attacked and killed by a shark are around 1 in 1.75 million. Those chances are lower than the possibility of dying by a lightning strike, a freak firework accident, or excessive cold. But not
Which is
everyone is
crazy.
safe.
Bro,
Just ask
I think
Lisa.
I've said this before, but deers, bro, deers kill more people. And it's not because they charge people and kill them. It's literally because people hit them with their car and they die. Like, deers kill more people, bro, than sharks do. So yeah, sharks just really don't be giving a fuck. They don't be giving a fuck.
Mondi. In March
About
2011, 24-year-old Lisa was a wildlife tour guide making the most of a sunny lunch break by wakeboarding with friends when she failed to land a jump and the board came off her feet.
Fuck.
Lisa started treading water as she waited for the boat to turn around and pick her up when a great white shark sped straight up at her from below. The creature hit her so hard it launched her about 3 feet out of the water as
God
its powerful jaws
damn.
closed around her head and arm. The shark dragged Lisa underwater, but lost its grip of her, and thanks to her life jacket, she was able to come back up to the surface.
That's
Lisa was then rushed to the hospital
crazy.
in Port
See,
Stevens,
and
where
even in
doctors
that-
feared they would have to
in that instance, the shark probably thought it was something else, I guess. I don't know.
amputate her left arm because she had lost so much muscle, as well as her brachial artery, which is a major blood vessel. Miraculously, after undergoing numerous operations, she was able to leave the hospital with her arm heavily bandaged up, but crucially, still attached to her body. Even more remarkably, Lisa returned to the water in February 2016 to get a closer look at the predator that almost killed her by going cage diving. Oh, and did I mention she also smashed a performance of Strong by British band London Grammar on X Factor Australia in 2015? What a survivor. Ron
That's a cool
Cooper's
story, actually.
lucky escape.
Wow.
Regardless of how much of an experienced driver you are, the open road is full of pitfalls and perils. And if
Okay.
it isn't other drivers you need to be wary of, it's your natural surroundings. In 2014, Australian motorist Ron Cooper proved that sometimes all it takes is lightning-fast reaction times to save your own life. While traveling on the Black Spur
Okay.
Highway near Melbourne, Australia, Cooper was caught in the middle of a wild
what
storm.
is it?
Dashcam footage
It's just a fucking tree almost hitting you, bro, or what? Because that's not
shows
that
the
crazy.
trees that line the road swaying slightly as Cooper turns a corner, and leaves and small branches litter the road ahead. And then this happens.
But just... Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Okay. It keeps going. Oh my god. Oh my
As if
god.
blown over.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was like, bro, it's one fucking tree, bro. It's one fucking tree. Good reaction time. Cool. And even then, if he sped up, he could have maybe made that. And then the whole fucking forest came down. That is insane, bro. How strong was that fucking wind right there, bro? Let's watch that shit again.
And then this
I mean, bro, you can almost tell.
a corner, and leaves and small branches litter the road ahead. And then
Like right here, bro, I would have, if I saw that much trees in the road, I would slow the fuck down so much. Like 10, bro, like if the speed limit's like fucking 40, bro, I'm going 30, bro. I'm going slow as fuck, dog.
this happens.
Because that is crazy. Look at this. I was like, okay, that's not that crazy. And then I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And that guy had a good reaction time too. And then boom! The whole fucking forest, bro. Dude, that is insane,
As if
bro.
blown over by some invisible giant, at least 7 trees fall like a house of cards, right in front of Cooper's car.
Damn.
Thankfully, he was able to think fast enough to slam on the brakes before any of the falling foliage could crush his vehicle, not to mention himself. A car driving in the
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like if this was me, well, okay, you know, I would say, oh, if that was me and I saw multiple trees fall, I would reverse just in case I want to get hit by the trees that are right next to me. I wouldn't think that though, bro. I'd just be like, holy shit, this actually happened right now. I would do exactly what he did, bro.
opposite direction can also be seen stopping just in the nick of time
Yeah.
as the trees cover Watts River Bridge.
Uh-huh.
Judging by the footage, Cooper managed to miss the trees by mere inches without breaking a sweat. All it would have taken is a split second more, and this freak weather accident would have certainly spelled lights out. And that, my friends, is a much needed lesson on being aware of your surroundings at all times.
That's crazy.
Alcides Moreno. If you're afraid of heights, window washing probably isn't the right career choice for you. But
Not gonna lie,
Alcides Moreno.
I've thought about window washing before. I thought that would be kind of like cool and relaxing to do. Like you're up really high and you're just cleaning windows. Like I think it'd be kind of low key a chill job.
And his brother Edgar
This might
clearly
change my
had
mind,
no such
though.
fears as they worked together on high-rise buildings in Manhattan for years. That is until one fateful day in December 2007 when the obvious risks of such a vertigo-inducing career became a terrifying reality. While cleaning the windows of the Salal Tower, an Upper East Side apartment building in Midtown Manhattan, the anchors holding the platform that the two brothers were working on suddenly gave way.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? I thought maybe one of them was gonna snap, but all of them do, and how are they gonna live from this shit? Do you have fucking parachutes, bitch? Or do they have harnesses to keep them up?
Plummeting
I don't know.
47 stories, or almost 500 feet, into a narrow alleyway below. This kind of fall should have been game over for anyone, and Edgar sadly lost his life in the accident. But as stunned witnesses rushed over to the scene, they were dumbfounded to find Alcides miraculously alive, conscious, and sitting up after being rushed to the hospital where he underwent several tricky procedures, as well as receiving around 24 pints of blood and 19 pints of plasma. Alcides was amazingly able to walk and talk again by the following June. But how did he survive such a fall? Alcides has since referred to his job training to explain it. You see, he and his fellow window washers had been given clear instructions about how to try and protect themselves in the event of falling from a great height. Just lay flat and grip the platform tightly. Doctors also noted that he didn't hit his head or break his pelvis upon landing, which are two things most likely to cause fatal complications in a fall like this. Unsurprisingly, Alcides wasn't able to return to his window washing work, but he did receive a sizable settlement after it was revealed that the scaffolding company hadn't secured it properly. Plus, who else
probably doesn't need to work again after that shit, bro, not gonna lie.
can say they've fallen 47 stories and survived?
Wait, bro, so you're literally, what the fuck? You're literally telling me, because I've heard this before, I think, if you're in an elevator, this is take this information. If you're in an elevator, okay, and it's free fucking falling, you're probably gonna die. But look, the chances of you surviving if you lay down, I think are like higher than if you stand up or do anything else, right? So I guess the same thing contains to this, you know? If you just fucking lay down and hold something, you might make it somehow. I don't know the logic behind that. I feel like that would be almost the worst thing to do because you're closer to the impact. I don't fucking know, bro, but that's insane he survived that shit, bro. What the fuck? And how does this shit happen?
Dam disaster. The Monticello Dam is a 304-foot high concrete arc located on Puta Creek where the stream crosses the eastern boundary of Napa County, California.
Dam,
it was constructed between 1953 and 1967 to form Lake Berryessa and regulates flows along the lower reaches of Puta while storing surplus water. But its crowning feature by far is a magnificent spillway known as an Morning Glory Hole, which acts as a massive funnel when water levels rise above 440 feet. At the surface, the spillway measures a whopping 72 feet across.
Oh, I see. I was about to say, how the fuck does this naturally happen? It doesn't. Okay.
Excess water.
Not like that. I think in the ocean, things like this can happen where there's like it swishes like this, like a whirlpool, but like not like fucking this, bro.
The monumental 200 feet down a narrowing shaft, which tapers to 28 feet in diameter, where it turns 90 degrees and flows into Puta Creek. As you can imagine, falling into this watery chasm isn't something that most people would escape from unharmed. But that's precisely the scenario laid out in descriptions that...
Yo, so what the fuck are these idiots doing? Dude, you want to go to that fucking dam and fucking, like, just hang off the, like, the fucking, the thing right here? I forget what they call it, bro. Overflow pipe? Do you want to sit on the edge of that? Dumbass! No, I don't, bro. Gosh.
Accompanied a video that made the rounds online in November 2020.
Oh, November 2020. I guess that's what happens when you're inside all the time. You want to do some dumb shit like this, bro.
The video's description claimed the unfortunate soul fell directly into the Monticello Dam in California after being used as a human springboard, with the clip cutting off right before we get to see
I didn't even see that.
But,
he was used as a springboard. Oh, you should have actually, like, perished that day. You know, some people just don't deserve to live because of their stupidity. It's one of them, bro.
Relieved to tell you that, in reality, that terrifying-looking tumble wasn't quite what it was claimed to be. You see, despite the video's claims, the location wasn't the Monticello Dam at all. It was the far less dangerous Sapua Dam, found in India, which is a prime spot for camping, sightseeing, and swimming. The name Sapua translates as snake, which reflects the winding architectural structure of this concrete dam. Although the viral video's camera angle makes it look like the guy fell to certain doom, the reality is that he probably only fell around 18 feet into the water below, which is nothing compared to the 200 feet had he really been at California's Monticello Dam. If anyone were actually unlucky enough to fall into the Monticello spillway after being sucked into the abyss, they'd likely be battered around the tunnel walls, possibly even drowning in the turbulent current. But while no injuries were reported in relation to the viral video from India, the fellow's fall still could have turned nasty had he got unlucky and struck his head on the dam's concrete masonry. So although the viral clip might not be as terrifying as it once seemed, and its subject was alright, it's safe to say that hanging around any dam is a damn bad idea. Which one of
I won't lie, that was like a useless fucking like part of the video. Like that, like, okay, he didn't actually jump off that. He actually just jumped off a lesser, like he jumped off this, which doesn't, like, why was this in the video, bro? Anyway, the luckiest thing today that I saw was definitely the fucking boat, bro. The fact that it launched her out
an explosion
of
in the boiler room
boat, bro.
directly
Look.
below the smokestack blew Margaret right out of the funnel.
Nah, it's fucking crazy, bro. That might be insane, because those other people must have died. I don't think you talked about that, bro, but those guys must have fucking died in there, bro. That is very unfortunate. This dude, too, that survived the winter, like, he was frozen.
But in a Hollywood-style twist, he later awoke from his coma. Finding himself covered in snow, he stood up and walked back in the direction of camp. When he arrived, it's safe.
Yeah, so he was like that. He was like that for like a day, which is fucking crazy, bro. This one too is pretty crazy. The car one, that's pretty crazy too. The bat one, yeah, that one's crazy too, though, not gonna lie. The whale one, yeah, but the whale one is more like, it's just scary and jarring than actually like a crazy thing to survive, because you're not gonna die probably if a whale like swallows you in an accident or eats you, because it won't, because they're smart. They'll fucking spit you out. So the shark one's pretty crazy too. The tree one's crazy. I feel like though, out of all of these videos that I've watched so far, so the other 4 videos, this one was definitely the least craziest one, I'm gonna be honest. And I'm hoping, like, it was still a good video, I really enjoyed it, but I'm hoping the other ones are better, because this one was a little bit not as crazy as the other ones, in my opinion. So yeah, especially that fucking last one. This one was literally a waste of fucking time, bro. What the fuck are we doing? Whatever, bro. Let's see these comments here, see what they're saying. The woman who survived full-blown rabies, that was truly amazing and groundbreaking for future cases. Yeah, that is low-key crazy that she even survived that ish, bro. Take on a less deadly hobby than mountain climbing, like cross-stitching. I think that might be a tad difficult given his current condition with his fingers, bro. I didn't even realize he fucking said that, I'm gonna be honest. Wait, I want to find that shit.
Hopefully, he also went on to take on a far less deadly hobby than mountain climbing, like cross-stitch or something.
I think they did that on purpose, bro, just so people could comment about that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro, there's no way he fucking, there's fucking no way, bro. Unless, though, you know what? Honestly, this guy probably just got a script and you read it and didn't even watch the fucking videos, potentially. So, that is funny as fuck, though. Anyway, though, y'all, that's today's video. And if any of us, that's every video, but if one of y'all have a crazy story that you have survived, make sure to put it down in the comments below. I'd love to read it. And yeah, but if y'all like today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff you want us to do. And have a good day. I love y'all, and peace.
Every time I call you, baby.